When I think about what fuels me, there are seasons that are heavy seasons, and I've even been in one of those. And the same thing that sometimes can feel so taxing, like, oh, I got to go be with people. The truth is, once I get to that space and I'm there with them, life comes out of that because I really get to invest in the relationships. And if I really acknowledge what my purpose is, I can't fulfill what my calling is by myself. And so to fulfill the calling that I truly believe God's given me, I've got to be around people, I've got to be listening to their story, and I've got to be dreaming with them, even in times where they may feel like they can't dream.
I think the thing that drives me the most, and I really had a hard time kind of coming to terms with it, is I have to go. I love exploring, I love adventures, I love movement, and sometimes I looked at that as a negative in myself. It's like, because I'm not always productive when I go, I just really like to go. And so I think one of the another big aha moments that came connecting my two words with my going is that if I wasn't on the go, if I wasn't in movement, if I didn't have all that, I wouldn't have the opportunities that come my way to live out my two words. So I think that was a real powerful, powerful moment.
Whenever I set out with my career, I had a specific idea about where it would take me. And kind of following the general cultural norms. And what the process really took me through was saying, okay, it's okay to be different, and it's okay to do things differently. And that's actually what God wants. He's created us all with a unique sense of style and purpose. And I'm an introvert. I'm not meant for large group settings. I'm not meant for being a hugely successful CEO of a company. Okay, that's not who I am as a person. And so how can I use my own giftings to really work in my career?
I think that through this process, looking at just different passions of mine really just helped me come up with my core values. So some of the things that fuel me are community. My people are super important to me ever since I was little. I mean, some of the best friends I've had since I was 5. So it's funny how even as a kid, like I knew that that was really important to me and something that was worth me fighting for. Knowing that this is a value of mine really makes me fight for friendships more than I've had to in the past because it's just harder now. But I know that that fuels me and that fills me up and that brings me closer to God ultimately. And so now just knowing that that's a passion of mine and that that's a value of mine, it just makes me fight for it even more.
So simplifying situations. So I realize now that I was made, no matter where I'm at, I'll go in and try to make it simpler. A good example of that, I think, is at work. And I think of an assessment that I took said about me, Britain will keep you grounded in reality. And I think that's the simplification thing. If I'm going into a meeting or we're talking about something at work, I will immediately go in my brain and think, how can we make this more simple, more clear, so people can understand and Jesus can be accessible?